Welcome to our journey through one of the greatest and most challenging novels of all time, James Joyce's Ulysses. Published in 1922, Ulysses is not just a story, it's an odyssey, a single day in the life of Dublin, Ireland, that mirrors the grand voyage of Homer's Odyssey. Joyce transforms the ordinary into the epic, the mundane into the mythic. His hero is not a warrior or a king, but a humble Jewish advertising salesman named Leopold Bloom. The date is June 16, 1904, a day that literature would remember forever. So sit back as we explore this intricate, emotional, and profoundly human story. The story of one day that captures an entire universe. Our story begins not with Bloom, but with a young man, Stephen Dedalus, a school teacher and struggling writer. He's living in a Martello tower on the coast with his friends. Buck Mulligan, a boisterous medical student, and N, a visiting Englishman. The morning air smells of sea salt and irony. Buck teases Stephen mercilessly about his brooding nature and his guilt over his mother's death. Stephen's mind, however, drifts through waves of memory and symbolism. He feels alienated from religion, from family, from his country. As they eat breakfast, Stephen gazes out to the ocean, a restless artist searching for meaning. He refuses to return home, refuses to kneel in repentance. His journey, like that of Homer's Telemachus, is one of spiritual exile. Stephen then walks to his job at a boys' school, where he teaches history half-heartedly. The boys mock him, and Stephen muses on philosophy, time, and destiny. After class, he discusses pay and life with the headmaster, Mr. Deasy, who delivers pompous lectures about money and morality. Deasy's parting words are ironic. History is a nightmare from which I am trying to awake. Stephen takes a letter to deliver, but what he truly carries is the weight of colonial Dublin, Catholic guilt, and personal loss. Now, the story shifts and the true Odysseus of Joyce's Dublin awakens. Leopold Bloom, an ordinary man with an extraordinary inner life. He's preparing breakfast for his wife, Molly Bloom, who still lies in bed. He cooks her a kidney, feeds their cat, and ponders the smell of fried organs and the rhythms of life. Bloom plans his day a funeral, some errands, and a visit to the newspaper office. As he walks to buy Molly's breakfast, we glimpse his kindness, his curiosity, his love for small, sensual details. But under this calm surface, there's pain. He suspects that Molly is having an affair with her manager, Blaze's boy. Bloom is gentle, human, and endlessly reflective, the heart of the novel. Later, Bloom attends the funeral of a friend, Paddy Digna. This funeral scene becomes a meditation on death and the absurdity of life. As the carriage rolls through Dublin, Bloom's thoughts wander about mortality, the human body, and his own lost son, Rudy, who died in infancy. Around him, men chatter about business and politics, but Bloom's mind moves deeper, more poetically, more painfully. He is surrounded by people, yet profoundly alone. From there, Bloom spends the afternoon wandering the streets of Dublin. He goes to the newspaper office, where chaos reigns as editors chase stories and advertisers bargain. He visits a pub, listens to gossip, and quietly endures anti-Semitic remarks. Every encounter reveals something about Dublin's soul, its charm, its prejudice, its longing. Like Odysseus among the Lotus Eaters, Bloom drifts through temptation, memory, and melancholy. Meanwhile, Stephen, also wandering the city, drinks with friends and debates art, philosophy, and identity. Both men are lost, searching for connection, for meaning, for home. As day fades, their stories begin to converge. In a Dublin maternity hospital, Bloom and Stephen finally cross paths. Molly's lover, Boylan, has just visited her, and Bloom's heart aches, but he distracts himself by caring for others. The hospital scene bursts with chaos and comedy, written in a dazzling parade of English styles that mimic the evolution of the language itself, from ancient prose to modern slang. Here Joyce turns childbirth into both a sacred and a comic ritual, and Bloom becomes a symbol of compassion amid life's confusion. Night descends, and Dublin transforms. Bloom follows Stephen into the red light district night town, a world of hallucination and sin. Here, the novel becomes a dream play. Bloom imagines trials, transformations, and erotic fantasies. Stephen sees ghosts of his mother and visions of guilt. Reality dissolves into the unconscious. In this phantasmagoric world, both men confront their fears and desires. Bloom becomes a father figure to Stephen, protective, patient, guiding him away from self-destruction. As they stumble out into the quiet night, something beautiful happens. Understanding, even love, between two lost souls. The two wander to Bloom's home at 7 Eccles Street. They share cocoa in the kitchen, a moment of stillness after the chaos. Bloom offers Stephen a place to stay, but Stephen declines, choosing to go his own way into the dawn. Bloom quietly cleans up, goes upstairs, and finds Molly asleep. He slips into bed beside her, the marriage fractured, but the bond unbroken. And then comes the most famous ending in modern literature. Molly Bloom's soliloquy. 8 long, unpunctuated sentences, a flood of consciousness, memory, and desire. She recalls her first meeting with Bloom, her sensuality, her frustrations, her affirmations. Her final word is a single, resounding yes. Yes to life, to love, to imperfection. It's not an ending, but a beginning, the eternal renewal of human experience. Ulysses is more than a novel. It's a mirror of the human mind. In one ordinary day, Joyce captures all of life: birth, death, love, loss, humor, fear, and the infinite churn of thought. Its structure mirrors the Odyssey, but instead of gods and monsters, we find advertisements, pubs, and inner voices. It shows that every person's life, however small, is an epic journey. Leopold Bloom is every man. Stephen Dedalus is every thinker. Molly Bloom is every lover. Their Dublin is our world. Confusing, funny, heartbreaking, and endlessly alive. And that is Ulysses. A day that became a masterpiece. A life transformed into legend. If you enjoyed this literary journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more in-depth storytelling summaries of the world's greatest novels.